Have you ever wondered where the term Ponzi scheme originates from? It's quite the tale spun around a man named Charles Ponzi, who in the roaring 20s of the United States concocted a cunning financial plot. Ponzi promised investors a staggering 50% profit within 45 days, or an even more unbelievable 100% profit within 90 days. How, you ask? He claimed to do this by buying discounted postal reply coupons in other countries and redeeming them at face value in the United States, a form of arbitrage. However, as with all things too good to be true, Ponzi's scheme collapsed. The postal reply coupons were hardly profitable, and the returns promised were largely funded by the money from new investors, not legitimate profits. This led to significant losses for many who had invested their hard-earned money into Ponzi's scheme. And so, the term Ponzi scheme was born, a fraudulent investing scam promising high rates of return with little risk to investors. What makes a Ponzi scheme, and how does it continue to ensnare investors despite its notorious history? At its core, a Ponzi scheme operates on a simple principle: using new investors' money to pay returns to earlier investors. This creates a facade of a profitable business, attracting more and more investors. But here's the catch: this system is fundamentally unsustainable. Why, you ask? Well, the scheme's survival relies heavily on the constant influx of new investments. The moment this flow slows down, the scheme starts to crumble. Returns to older investors cannot be paid without new money coming in. And when this becomes apparent, panic ensues. Investors scramble to withdraw their money, only to find the coffers are empty. This is the inevitable fate of every Ponzi scheme. No matter how convincing it may seem at the start, remember this: a Ponzi scheme is nothing more than a financial house of cards. A Ponzi scheme is a ticking time bomb destined to implode when new investments dry up. You might be curious, what is the largest Ponzi scheme ever recorded? Well, let's dive into the infamous world of financial fraud, where billions of dollars can vanish into thin air. The crown of the largest Ponzi scheme in history goes to none other than Bernie Madoff. This Wall Street tycoon built a fraudulent empire that duped investors out of a staggering $65 billion. Yes, you heard it right, $65 billion. Madoff's Ponzi scheme was built on a foundation of lies and false promises of high returns, which ultimately led to one of the most significant collapses in financial history. But Madoff isn't alone in this hall of infamy. There have been countless other Ponzi schemes, big and small, that have left their victims in financial ruin. From Charles Ponzi's original postal coupon scheme to Alan Stanford's $8 billion fraud, the list goes on. These monumental schemes serve as a stark warning of the dangers of too good to be true investments. Are all Ponzi schemes the same, or do they come in different forms? The simple answer is no, they are not all the same. There are several types, each with its unique characteristics, but all share the same dishonest core. First, we have the classic Ponzi scheme, named after Charles Ponzi himself. This involves promising investors high returns and using the money from new investors to pay off the old ones. It's a cycle that continues until it can't, leaving many out of pocket. Next up, we have high-yield investment programs, or high yips, which are a digital twist on the classic Ponzi. They operate largely online, promising unrealistically high returns on investments, often coupled with aggressive marketing strategies. Finally, there's multi-level marketing schemes, or MLMs. While not all MLMs are Ponzi schemes, those that focus more on recruitment rather than product sales can cross into Ponzi territory, as participants' earnings are often based on new recruits rather than legitimate sales. Despite their variations, all Ponzi schemes share the same fatal flaw. They are built on a foundation of lies and deceit. So, what can we take away from our exploration of Ponzi schemes? Well, we've journeyed from the birth of these schemes with Charles Ponzi himself, learning how he used international reply coupons to deceive investors. We've dived into the mechanics, understanding how these schemes rely on a continuous influx of new investors to pay out old ones. We've navigated through history, recounting some of the biggest Ponzi schemes, like the infamous Bernie Madoff scandal. And we've discovered the various types of Ponzi schemes that exist. Each of these points underscores the treacherous nature of Ponzi schemes. They thrive on deception, promising high returns with little risk. But remember, they are unsustainable and eventually collapse, leaving investors in financial ruin. The importance of being vigilant and informed when investing cannot be overstated. Always scrutinize the legitimacy of any investment opportunity. Remember, if an investment sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Stay informed, stay skeptical, and stay safe.